Chapter 2, First Blood. Beach Haven, July 1st. The Angleside Hotel was the pride of Beach Haven. Its broad wooden verandas faced the Atlantic, where guests sat in wicker chairs, sipping iced tea and lemonade, watching the tide slide in. The sea breeze carried the mingled scents of cigar smoke, salt, and ladies' perfumes. That evening, a quartet tuned its strings in the dining room, and waiters in crisp jackets prepared for the supper rush. It was a holiday weekend, and every room was full. Children played tag on the sand, their laughter echoing above the waves. Men in rolled-up sleeves lounged on the porch, newspapers folded under their arms, while women in summer dresses strolled the boardwalk, parasols tilted against the fading sun. The war in Europe, the stifling heat of the cities, even the polio outbreak, all of it seemed far away. Among the guests was Charles Vincent, known to friends as a good-natured, athletic young man. At 25, he carried himself with the confidence of youth, his dark hair slicked neatly, his stride brisk. He had arrived that very afternoon from Philadelphia with his family, eager to escape the choking city heat. But as supper hour approached, Charles grew restless. The sight of the sea, vast, glittering bronze beneath the lowering sun, was too tempting. He pulled at the collar of his shirt, laughing. "I'll never last through dinner without a swim," he declared, grinning at his mother and father. "You'll forgive me if I go down for a dip?" His father chuckled, shaking his head. "You'll spoil your appetite, Charles." "Then I'll swim fast," Charles replied. He was already halfway across the sand, loosening the buttons of his jacket, a boyish eagerness in his step. The bathing pavilion was still lively, though the crowd was thinning. Families were packing up, mothers brushing sand from their children's hair, fathers tugging on shoes. A lifeguard tower stood at the edge of the beach, its white paint catching the last fire of the sunset. Charles emerged in a dark wool bathing suit, his bare chest pale against the deepening sky. A Chesapeake Bay retriever, a sandy-colored dog belonging to another guest, bounded after him, tail whipping happily. "Come on, boy," Charles called, racing into the surf. The dog barked and lunged, splashing at his heels. The water was cool, startling after the heat of the day. Charles dove forward, gasping with delight as the Atlantic closed over him. He surfaced, stroking outward toward deeper water, the dog paddling behind. For several minutes they played like this. Man and dog, leaping through waves, laughing, barking, the whole scene watched with amusement by those left on the sand. "He's like a child," one woman remarked, smiling at the spectacle. "Better hurry," another man said, nodding toward the hotel. "Dinner's being served." On the porch, waiters moved to and fro with trays of oysters, roast chicken, and champagne. The string quartet's first notes floated out across the twilight air. Then came the scream. It was sharp, unnatural, and cut through the murmur of conversation like a snapped wire. At first, some thought Charles was calling to the dog, or playing, but the tone of it, desperate, broken, froze every heart that heard it. The lifeguard, Alexander Ott, jerked upright in his chair. He shaded his eyes against the sinking sun and saw Vincent thrashing, his arms flailing wildly. "Help!" The cry rang again, piercing. "Oh God, help me!" The dog was already swimming furiously toward shore, barking in panic. Around Vincent, the water churned strangely. Dark swirls fanned out behind him. "Cramp!" a man shouted. "He's cramping!" But even as he said it, a thin red ribbon unfurled in the waves. A woman screamed. Ott leapt from his perch and ran, sand flying under his feet. A hotel bellhop, Sheridan Taylor, dropped the towels he was carrying and bolted after him. Together they plunged into the surf. "Hold on!" Ott bellowed. "We're coming!" Vincent's face was ashen, his eyes wide with terror. He flailed toward them, but something yanked him backward, jerking his body in violent spasms. The red in the water thickened. "It's got me!" he shrieked, choking on salt water. "My legs! It's got my legs!" Ott seized him under the arms. Taylor grabbed his other side, but there was resistance. A pull from below, strong and horrifying. The water erupted around them as the creature surged, unseen except for a fleeting, dark shape that brushed against Ott's thigh. God almighty, Taylor gasped, pulling with all his strength. It won't let him go. They heaved, dragging Van Sant's upper body toward shore, while his legs remained seized by the monster beneath. For one sickening moment, it seemed a tug-of-war between men and sea. Then, as abruptly as it had come, the creature released. The rescuers stumbled back, hauling Van Sant into shallow water. The sight silenced the crowd. Van Sant's left thigh was shredded, muscle and skin torn away to the bone. Blood poured from the wound, staining the sand with every pulse. His face twisted in agony, his lips already pale. "Quick!" Ott shouted. "Towels, anything! Press it, hard!" Several men rushed forward. Women fainted or turned their faces away. The dog whined and licked at Charles's hand, but was pushed back. Towels were pressed to the wound, hands shaking as the cloth turned sodden crimson in seconds. "Where's the doctor?" someone cried. "Fetch the doctor from the hotel." Runners sprinted up the beach. Inside the Ingleside diners paused, forks suspended midair, as words spread in frantic whispers. "A boy's been hurt, down on the beach. Hurry!" The hotel physician arrived, breathless, his black bag swinging. He knelt, examined the wound, and shook his head grimly. "There's nothing to be done," he murmured, though still he worked, binding, pressing, praying against hope. Charles's father pushed through the crowd, his face stricken. He knelt beside his son, clutching his hand. "Charles, stay with us. Do you hear me? Stay with us." But the young man's breathing grew ragged, his skin clammy. His eyes, glazed with shock, turned toward the horizon as if searching for the sun already vanished. Minutes later, his chest stilled. Silence fell heavy on the beach, broken only by the retreat of the tide. The ocean rolled on, indifferent, dark, swallowing the last crimson traces into its endless sweep. Back at the Ingleside, the string quartet played on, their melodies lilting over the verandas. Some guests, unaware, applauded the tune. Others sat in stunned quiet, staring out at the blackening sea. And for those who had seen it, the word whispered on their lips was the same, spoken with awe and dread. Shark.